Centre.
Actually, Steve, you have been able to start the recording.
Yes, I found a button.
Good on you, Steve.
We've come such a long way over the last 5 years with our with our interactive gatherings, haven't we? Okay, so we're at 11 o'clock now. I'd like to welcome everybody to the GIER Lightning Talk for today. I'm Beryl Exley and I'm going to be the MC for today. I'll begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the various lands upon which we're each meeting today and pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the hopes, visions and memories of Indigenous Australia. Today we have got a fantastic selection and I can see we've got a growing audience as well, so it's just absolutely wonderful that people have come along to today's session. It will be an interactive session. Each of our three presenters will speak for about 8 or 9 minutes, which will give us 8 or 9 minutes for to open the microphones and invite other people to come and be a part of the discussion, share some of their observations, ask questions, or even share some of their work that connects to the topics that are being presented today. So our first speaker this morning will be Associate Professor Popi Sotiriadou. Can you help me with how I'm saying that?
Sorry, Popi? Very good. Sotiriadou.
Ah, very good. On harnessing the potential of interactive oral assessments. And that will be followed by Dr. Emma Barnes, who will be talking about, I can see, Emma, you're from the Griffith Office of Research, and you're going to be talking about researchers showcasing their research impact and developing their impact stories. So we very much look forward to that. We've all got a vested interest in doing our research service. And we'll finish up with Dr. Judy Rose, and Judy's going to be talking about a current AEL grant that she's leading with a multidisciplinary team on using phenomenology methods to interview hard-to-reach men who perpetuate violence and coercive control. So 3 diverse but equally great sessions. So, Poppy, I'm going to hand over to you to start off our lightning talks.
Thanks, Beryl. I've got a new laptop, brand new, so hopefully everything will work just fine. You most likely can see my screen at this stage.
We can see your screen. If you hit slideshow, we'll be able to see the full slide. At the moment, we can actually see the whole sequence of slides.
I just did that. It's still not showing.
Okay, so do you want to try and go up to the top, on the top ribbon where you've got slideshow?
Hang on.
A little bit further to the left, a little bit.
It shows its slideshow in my screen.
Okay. Well, look, it's actually showing as quite big, and it looks like you haven't been text heavy, which is fantastic. So we can proceed on. Yep. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah,
okay.
That's as far as it goes. I don't know why, but I've just adjusted the screen a little bit.
Okay. I think we're ready, Poppy.
Okay, wonderful. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal Islander people. I'll start with a brief definition of what interactive oral assessments are, and that represents an efficient and effective form of authentic assessment that promotes skill development and employability, enhances overall student engagement, and offers a personalized approach to learning and teaching that preserves academic integrity. That all sounds like mission impossible, but hopefully over the next few slides, you'll see how that's all possible. Now, I also like to discuss some of the key traits and characteristics of interactive orals and how they differ to other assessments, oral assessments. And a key characteristic of interactive orals is the use of conversation prompts rather than question Q&A setting. So we replicate an authentic setting, an authentic scenario of workplace environment, and we have a genuine and unscripted conversation. Again, that unscripted conversation is important. We use normal communication and conversation cues rather than a firm Q&A set of questions. And that authenticity is what allows students to be themselves and even bring resources with them to aid that conversation. Most likely, these conversations are scaffolded to or from other assessments and engage students throughout the course. Now, one thing that I mentioned earlier is that interactive orals are different to other oral assessments. They are not oral exams. They are not a viva voce type of exam. They're not in-class presentations, posters, or group presentations, or pre-recorded presentations. And I'd like to stress that because there's some misconception on what interactive orals as opposed to other oral assessments. And this brings me to one of the key areas of conversation that I was hoping to convey today, the reach, impact, and international footprint of interactive oral assessments, and all the evidence that we have and support from other universities, students, academics, and experts points towards that impact. As an example here, Matthew Hillier, most of you may know Matthew Hillier from Macquarie University, has actually quoted that interactive oral assessments are a transformative approach that addresses the intractable competing triad of forces in assessment: employability and student engagement, scalability and integrity, which goes back to the definition of interactive oral assessments and how interactive oral assessments make the seemingly impossible possible. And more recently, in her support for our application and successfully winning the Australian Financial Review Award in learning and teaching, our own Vice Chancellor quoted learning and teaching innovations such as interactive orals not only help preserve academic integrity in a world of generative artificial intelligence, but add value to the curriculum in supporting our students to excel in their professions. We are proud of our interactive orals team for making a difference to Griffith students and for generously sharing their ideas to support many thousands of students in higher education settings across Australia and the world. I believe my partner in crime is attending our session today, Danielle, who has worked since the inception of interactive orals in our team in 2015, tirelessly to achieve that reach, impact, and international footprint. Another indication of that footprint is summarized in this infographic that represents that reach of interactive orals and how far and their implementation, the collaborations we have with other universities and different partnerships that over the years, and in particular with the advent of the pandemic, has raised a lot of interest across the globe. And more recently with the challenges we are faced with ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence platforms, interactive oral assessments have been proven to be immune to any challenges we throw at them because of that authenticity that they offer. Now, this is a very good resource. I don't have time to jump onto that link, but we have the QR code and the URL there, where we offer so many examples of how many disciplines, or any discipline, is relevant, and several ideas of how interactive oral assessments can be designed and offered in any course, in any discipline, at any level of university studies and any programs across the board. So this is a lovely resource that some of you may want to jump into, or we can have a look at it after the session. A couple of examples that we recently put together with Danny. One of them I draw upon is how interactive orals can be used to scaffold knowledge across a course. And our own Dr. Rawan Nimri at Griffith University and the Department of Tourism, Hotel and Sport introduced a scaffolded interactive oral assessment in her course, Facility and Venue Management, with 160 students. And as evidence of the impact of that exercise, she stated that by extension of the success of this interactive oral, a similar interactive oral assessment is now used in culinary tourism, where students have to present a proposal to come up with a design of a winery experience, and they sit down with a potential investor to discuss the proposal. It's the easiest, the most authentic way to evaluate and assess your students. Another example we recently put together, drawing from experiences from overseas and DCU from Professor Monica Ward. She championed the vertical and horizontal integration of interactive oral assessments across the Computing for Business honours degree. There's a few quotes here that from students that support the success and the impact of the interactive orals. From first year students, the feedback revealed that the majority of them were not worried about doing an interactive oral assessment, and they were looking forward to it. A student explained, the assessment challenged me as an individual to present the knowledge I learned in this module in an oral form and help me improve my conversation and presenting skills. Students felt that interactive orals were good and fun, fair, clear to understand and reflect on the things we learn. And the evidence is striking on how much students enjoy interactive orals, how much they learn, how much skill development they experience, and the relevance of their work in real life scenarios and their preparation for their careers, whichever career they choose to pursue. Previous data that we collected within Griffith reiterates that the assessments have a real work relevance and enable students to gain professional skills and enhancing their employability. Students spoke about the authenticity and, in fact, the fact that these assessments cannot be fabricated, which comes to support the importance of interactive oral assessments to combat generative artificial intelligence and other forms of plagiarism or academic misconduct. And the uniqueness, the personalized approach that the assessments offer are based on student interest and the angles they wish to take on and their interest they have, which results in their engagement. Now, this is a very important slide because if we are to offer that student engagement, employability, and academic integrity, that interactive oral assessments, our research shows that when we design interactive oral assessments, we need to have those 6 key characteristics: the scaffolding and support for students that I've explained briefly earlier, the scenario-based approach to relate to workplace and real-life scenarios, Clearly, it has to be aligned to the program and the learning outcomes of the course. It needs to be accessible and equitable across all students and professionally focused to offer those career opportunities. Just like my colleague mentioned earlier, mentioned in previous sessions that we offered when we discussed interactive oral assessments, they are a message of hope for generative artificial intelligence, for skill development, and so forth. And so much so that TEXA, in their Higher Education Good Practice Hub, they include interactive oral assessments under their academic integrity hub. And not long ago, we were the finalists for Academic Integrity Tracy Predug Award, and which comes to offer that evidence that interactive oral assessments do offer that solution that we are currently battling with generative artificial intelligence. I'd like to conclude with this URL. It's an all-stop shop platform where all the information is curated on interactive oral assessments, what they are, how to design them, the impact, the different communities of practice around the world, and all sorts of other resources. I think I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to quickly jump into my last slide for further information. If you like to reach out to us or get some more details, get some support, please feel free to reach out to us. And I put in Danielle's name there as well. Hopefully she wouldn't mind, but she's behind all this work that we've done, and it wouldn't be amiss of me to not include her in this presentation. Thank you for the opportunity, and I do hope you have questions.
Thank you, Poppy. That was an amazing presentation, and a shout out to Danielle Logan. My partner in crime from days teaching at Ormiston College before we both ended up at the university as well. So I know how lucky you are to be working with somebody of Danielle's calibre. It was a really insightful presentation, Poppy, and congratulations on those national awards and being a finalist and receiving the top gong as well for the Scholarship of Learning and Teaching. You also present a great model of how to present slides in a quick lightning talk. And I was particularly impressed with the student voice, such a compelling case that students can talk back to those assessments so favourably. I can see some of our GIER members in the audience who've got an interest in interactive orals, and thanks to those people who have been active on the Teams chat as well. You're cordially invited to continue those conversations on Team chat. And after we finish with you, Poppy, could I just get you to pop the URLs into the Team chat for people who prefer to harvest their access to those URLs through the Team chat as well. So let's open it up now to some of our GIER membership who'd like to engage in the discussion.
Hi, Poppy. How are you going?
Hi, Sue. Good. How are you?
Good. I just I missed the very beginning of your talk, but I wanted to ask you if there was a resistance to the idea that initially, like when you plan to overcome it. So I remember, for example, how a couple of the people who did it in education, it was a response to COVID. It was like, now we have to move exams into this more authentic way of knowing that this student knows what they know. Was there other resistances or other, like, I guess, challenges that you had to overcome with the design of the interactive orals? Like that the design was actually the way to overcome the resistance, if that makes sense?
Yeah, not necessarily the design, but I guess, and Danny, please feel free to jump in. But sometimes we see resistance. Every time there's something new, there's some sort of skepticism. So in the beginning, we had a lot more resistance than we have now. We actually now get calls from all sorts of places around the world and in Australia to implement interactive orals institution-wide. So the evidence is so compelling that that skepticism and that sort of push has sort of faded along the way. But initially, the challenge was that some disciplines or some academics that are set in their ways, they see innovation in assessment more of a challenge than early adopters, I suppose. So this was one of the main sort of areas that we had to work on. And once the evidence was so compelling, and once they became a trendy thing to do, it became a lot easier to spread the assessments across different institutions. Is that answering your question?
Yeah, thank you. And well done. That's really been I love loving these resources. If I had a look at 2 of them quickly, I can see that there's more going up there in the chat.
And thank you to Danielle for posting all those URLs. Poppy, you and Danielle are a fabulous team. So people
She's amazing.
She is amazing. Danielle, did you want to come on board, and was there anything else you wanted to remind us about?
Hi, for everybody working, hello everybody, and for everyone working in arts education law who are interested in embedding an interactive oral in your course, we encourage a programmatic approach and a scaffolding, not just within the course across the assessments, the authentic assessment designs, but also across the program. So what a first year interactive oral looks like is different to a second year and a third year in terms of building those very important communication skills that our students are going to need for learning for life, so not for success in their personal and professional lives. So what we have done in AEL is we actually offer some support in terms of the administration and the setup of interactive orals. So if you are thinking of putting an interactive oral in your course, please feel free to reach out to me or anyone in my team of the LTCs. I know Michael Gleason supports the School of Education and Professional Practice there. However, I'm also the Manager Education Quality now for AEL, so you're welcome to reach out to me and we can have a look at what you would like to do there as a part of the program. And we can offer some support. I know you're doing some program review work at the moment, so it's nice to have this today to plant a few seeds as to what you might like to do in your assessment designs moving forward.
Thank you so much, Danielle. That is an offer that is too good to refuse, and we really appreciate that there's nuances across the life of a program, and it's about building student capability across those years of the program. If people could join with me in thanking Poppy for presenting, and also Danielle for chiming in there as well. You're more than welcome to continue the chat online if you had other questions for Poppy.